Okay, I want to try some of the makeup that I bought during the Sephora savings event. I had a full video. I will link that somewhere, hopefully here, down below, I don't know, where I was showing you what I bought at the Sephora savings event. Today, as this video is going up, it is the last day to shop the sale. Rouge get 20%, VIP get 20%, and Insiders get 10%, and you get 30% off everything Sephora collection. Last day to shop today. I will actually put in another order because there were two things that I forgot to buy. So I will be making another order. Let me know if you will as well. And also, when I did my haul, I found this little headband. When I did my haul, I also realized I forgot to buy a couple of things that I wanted to buy. So let me just quickly show you what those things were. And I'm wearing Half Magic, even though Half Magic is sold at Ulta, but I love Half Magic too, okay? First of all, I did buy the Prism Libra Bronzer Powder by Givenchy. I totally forgot that I wanted to try this one. So I did pick this one up. It comes with a brush that we most definitely will not be using, but this is what the bronzer looks like. We'll definitely be trying that one. I also forgot to re-up my K18 dry shampoo. I bought both the small one and the big one. Love these. I do go through these. I travel with these, so I bought new of those. I also forgot that I wanted to get the new limited edition holiday liquid highlighter by Dior. Definitely getting this one on a bit of a discount. These are expensive, but this one is great. So I hope that this one is as good as the original one. So this one is in Abracadior. I love what you did there. So we'll try this one out today as well. And I also actually decided to get another one of the ABH brow definers. I got this one actually in blonde. I got the one in the second haul in strawburn, but I'm thinking about going back to my more, because I have a natural ashy blonde. And I'm thinking about going back to my natural ashy blonde. So I got a blonde instead. We'll see what happens with that, but I realized, why didn't I just get a second brow pencil in the sale? I do go through these. I also did get in PR the new blush palettes by Huda Beauty, and I did use the pink one in a video that you just saw on my channel. So I thought maybe we'd use the peach one today. Did I buy anything else? I feel like I bought... I bought this one as well, and I used that in that video too. It was an eyeliner by Kofi. I tried this one in store, and it was so good. It is in, I think, Tiger Queen. And I used that in the video where I used the pink palette as well. It's the video where I was discussing me no longer being a full-time beauty YouTuber come January 2026. So I'm not fully quitting uploading videos. I just will not be doing it as a job anymore. I'm going to be stepping back and just doing it as a hobby again. And we're finally going to be using the Lightworks palette as well. But first I'm going to do some foundation. This is not a new one. This is the Fenty, I think it's called Eavesdrop. And every time I use this as of late, I'm like, this is going to be... You heard that? Huh? This is going to be the last time I use it. Because I am so sure that I am down to the absolute last. And every time I use it, I keep thinking, this will be the last time I can use this one. I am going to be out. I've actually been panning a couple of makeup products as of late. I've used up, of course, mascaras, but I've used up two bronzers. Who am I? And I've also am about to use up this foundation and almost done with a concealer as well. And I just feel very excited about that, because I feel like as a beauty YouTuber, and maybe this will be something that changes for 2026, I rarely go through makeup products that I like rotate, like foundations and concealers and like bronzers and blushes. Nobody's going through blushes, but I also love blush so much. But like, we rarely go through those things because we keep rotating through our collection, enjoying the things that we have. But lately I have been going through a couple of things. Maybe I have one more use of this one left, because I'm gonna see if I can get some down and I can use it one more time. I'm just gonna put a little bit more in my T-zone. Let's zoom in and let's use a concealer that I've only used once so far. Oh, maybe I should use because I was gonna use the milk one that I used in my last video, but now I'm like, actually I should use this one, the Best Skin Ever by Sephora, because this one I did buy in the sale. Okay, we'll use this one. Ooh, I got out my sparkling water with caffeine. This one is mango. I really like this one. Okay, is the microphone where it's supposed to be? Sorry in advance to my editor if this is chaotic. So I got this one in 14Y. And I will say it's a little bit darker, I think you can see, than what I usually go for, which means that this will not be like a super bright under eye. It would more be like correcting. And I think I got like a... What shade did I get? I'm not 100% sure what the description was, but I usually don't get like a super dark concealer, so I'm surprised to see how dark this actually was. So if you're also looking at the descriptions for this concealer, maybe consider getting, if you're not going to use it as a face concealer, like a spot concealer, suggest you getting like maybe a shade lighter than what you were looking on. But that also means that there are more options if you have, hopefully, a medium tan skin tone, which could be a good thing. I also don't like a full coverage concealer, so hopefully this could be a really nice one. This is not something I bought in the sale, but I did get these new powders sent to me from Makeup Forever. So I have medium and I have lavender. Lavender. This is the, oh my gosh, why are these powders? Wow. Maybe I can brighten with this one. So these are the Makeup Forever, and it does say perfecting pressed powder. Undetectable, ultra blurring touch up. Press touch up? I don't know. But I am gonna try and see if I can use some of these. I got the other one in medium, but since I already have a slightly darker under eye than I usually do, I thought maybe we could do the lavender one. I don't always use like colored under eye powders, and when I do, I tend to go for like a banana shade because I do have a yellow undertone. I think it looks good on me. I mean, that actually does look pretty... That looks bright and pretty blurred. Okay, way to go, Makeup Forever. Not bad. I think I'm just gonna see if I can do my brows. I'm just gonna be using the Strawburn brow pencil that I bought during the sale. And then we'll try the new bronzer. I hope I love it. It's really expensive, please don't suck. I think I'm gonna go into the other powder as well. This is the medium one. And I think I'm just gonna set, yeah, you can see, I'm just gonna set a little bit in like my T-zone because I don't wanna be hyper glowy here. I think that's good. So this was the shade, let me double check so that I am not lying to you. This was the shade 2.1 medium. So I want to be using the Huda Beauty blush filter palette in Toasty Peach. This is not the one I used when I did my makeup the last time. This is a more peachy one. And I also got sent some of their liquid blushes, but I already have 2 of these shades. This is actually one of my favorite liquid blush formulas. So I already have, they sent me Cotton Candy, Strawberry Cream, and Peach Sorbet. And I already have Strawberry Cream and Peach, I think this is Peach Sorbet. I didn't have Cotton Candy though, so I think I'm gonna save that. I don't know where my Ubi cream is. I know I used it for something, I picked it, I did something, but I don't, it's here somewhere. I mean, I haven't gotten rid of it. I love it. It's my favorite shade. I just don't know where it is right now. But I am going to be putting these 2 in a giveaway box. I'm doing some giveaways for the holiday. I'm going to do several giveaway boxes. Right now, I think I have like 5 or 6 or maybe even 7 packed. So this is the Cotton Candy one. I think I might do... This is Sunset Lychee. Or should I do the peach one? You know what? I might do this one, the Sunset Lychee one. Let me see how the peach one looks. No, I'll do the peach one. It's even brighter, even though the packaging is not that. So I'll do this one. And then I'm going to do blush palette on top. Because I really, let me see if I can find a brush to use with this one. I really want to have a super, even more blushed look today. I've seen so many people have like a super blushy cheek, and I have been loving how that looks. There is a stray hair on this brush. That is not great. Okay, I'm gonna apply quite a lot of blush, and I like putting my blush up here. It's not the best blush placement for everyone, but for me, it is a really good blush placement because I'm very wide here, and I also want, I'm using some more like this, and I also want to lift my cheeks a bit because, again, I have a pretty wide face and I am 42. I do love a little bit of a lifting effect. And the last thing I want is to make my cheeks look rounder. Okay, that is a really good start. I really like how buildable these are. You can start out with a little, you can build them up. I like that they dry down, but still give a little bit of a sheen. There's a little bit of sheen in the formula without being like sparkly or metallic. I am a huge, huge fan. Do the bronzer. I totally forgot about this. So I got shade number 2 of the Givenchy bronzer. I tried this in store and I really liked, let me swirl in. I really liked how it's swatched in store. And I have been into a minimal bronzed look as of late. I used to do like a lot of bronzer, but as of late, I've really been into not that heavy on the bronzer, and I just have been enjoying the like subtle bronze. This definitely has that, like, you know, the department store flower, but not as heavy as I think the powder had, because the powder was very in your face. It's more sheer pigmented, like sheer buildable, I should say, than some other bronzers, but that could be a good thing because, again, since I've been into more a subtle bronze, I don't want it to be too bronzed straight out of the gate. Initial impression, I kind of like it. That looks pretty nice. Okay. What do I want to do? I think I'm going to do this one. And then, no, I'm gonna do this one. And then we are gonna do the highlighter on top. I just wanna do a little bit more. Yeah, so it's even more peachy. Oh, I don't know what. Everybody is leaving like the blush craze behind. And now all of a sudden I got blush blindness and I'm just piling it on and loving all the super blush looks I'm seeing. Wait, I love that. I was really impressed when I was using the pink palette the other day of how beautiful these were. Again, sheer but buildable, just enough kind of pigmentation, really beautiful like on the cheeks, and I really like the shimmery version of the pink one. So I thought overall these was really nice. And you know what I really like about this? This is a face palette, but it's not that much bigger than a single one. So because for me, the reason why I don't reach for face palettes is because they're usually so large that I end up having to store them separately and then I kind of forget about them. But these I actually can store together with my singles, which is what I want. I'm gonna do a highlighter. I do actually have 2 different highlighters. I do have the Gucci highlighter, which is this pinky highlighter, which would go perfectly with this look for sure. And I am very excited about this, but I also really want to try this new Dior liquid highlighter because I love the one that I have. And I really want to see how this, because it is almost like a pinky lilac-y shade. And I want to see how this one is on the cheeks. So let me do this one and then we can do some lips. I'm just going to do a little bit up here. Oh yes. I'm grabbing some more on my brush and I am gonna put on even just a little bit more. I do see that it took away a little bit here where I put the doe foot down, but that could also be me, that I put the doe foot down where I had put down a powder. So I'm gonna be honest, that could be a me problem. So I'm gonna put these together. I mean, I am literally going cream, powder, cream, or like I should say liquid powder creams. I mean, it could also be a me problem. I do think it still looks pretty okay. But yeah, I definitely can tell that some of it has washed away. But if I apply it from the brush instead, no, I definitely can see that it's like lifting. But again, it could be me because I am the one that went in with the liquid on top of the powder, on top of the liquid. So it definitely could be me. But that looks, I mean, the highlighter is stunning, but it definitely, I could be the problem with the layering situation. I will go over that once it's dried down a little bit with a little bit more of the blush just to blend them out. Is that from the highlighter or from the brush? But it could be me, but it could also be the highlighter. So I got 3 different lip formulas in the sale. This one I've used a lot. I've even traveled with it. It is the Orangey Balm from Valentino. I love it. I used it in my recent video. Absolutely in love with this formula. I love the orangey one. I did buy the Sugar Glaze from Laneige. It's one of those like donut little lip balmies. Oh, it does smell really, really good. But I really want to do this matte lipstick from ABH. This is the Soft Haze Matte Lipstick. So this is the color, and I kind of want to do, I'm going to do one of my cinch liners. And I don't think I'm going to do the lightest one. I think I'm going to do Maple. Just lying. I'm going to do Oak. I am going to just sharpen this one. And on me, this is like a slightly cool tone brown, but I have a warm undertone. It will lean anything from cool to neutral / a little bit more on the yellowy, depending on your undertone. But it is a pretty brown color. I love a formula that is creamy without being too overly creamy, that doesn't like become an instant like super sharp or like thick liner. You can shear this one out if you want to, or make it really pigmented if you want to. Just something to define your lips and to keep your lip color inside of your lips and not slipping all over your face, which is what the waxes help with. So let's go in with this one. Oh, that is so cool. Ooh. This is not as matte as their Velvet liquid lipsticks. This one has a little bit of a soft matte finish to it, but it still looks matte and it looks really beautiful. This one has dried down, so let's see if we can layer a little bit of the peach shades on top of it, just to like layer over some of our mistakes. That already looks way better. Okay, good for us. Okay, it's time for eyeshadow. So I did buy the Danessa Myricks Lightwork Volume 7. I did get this palette in the sale and I have only swatched it. I'm yet to try it. So we really need to do something with this today. And are we gonna do something blue? Because I do love a good blue. Or are we gonna stay in a different realm? I think we might do the blue, right? So I think I'm gonna use the mid-tone brown, the 2 bluey shades, and honestly, we'll just see where this one takes us. So I'm gonna start with this brown that's a little bit more of a, I mean, depending on your undertone, on me, it's gonna look a little bit more of a neutral brown, but it is probably gonna look a little warm if you have a neutral undertone or a cool undertone. But I'm gonna use that one. I'm just gonna use my normal Sigma eye primer. And we're gonna start with that and we'll see where we end up. I have tried some palettes from, or some shades from Danessa Myricks before, so I do know that I love the quality, but I've never owned one of the Lightworks palette. I can already tell now though, just from swatching this palette, that some of these shades are more flaky, which will enhance texture on your lids if you have a little bit more of a mature eyelid like I do. Like I said, I am in my 40s. And they also have at least one or two of them that feel a little bit more emollient that I do think are prone to creasing if you have, like me, a little bit more hooded lids. And I'm interested to see how that works out. I will say, I think the Nessa Myrix is really good at bringing more like indie formulas to the mainstream. I think that that's like one of the coolest things that the brand does. So I am gonna start with that brown out here. And as you can see on me, I feel like this brush, was this brush clean? I feel like on me, this will look, you can tell, just a little bit more of a neutral brown because against a warmer skin tone, the warmthness just kind of just matches and merges in. So I'm gonna do a little bit of what I like to call the blob. I don't know if I had a brush that had a little bit of shadow on it or if this is just deepening up because of the primer. Not 100% sure. I don't usually use like a darker shade than what I am doing right now with this kind of a brush. This is an EO8, but you never know. This is my own beauty brand, Cinch Beauty. We do brushes and lip liners and eyeshadow palettes and a bunch of other things. Should definitely check us out. I will leave a link in my description box if you're interested in trying out a new brand that's a little bit more indie. I do like how this goes on, and I do think that it is actually, you can see, deepening up a little bit. I don't think it was the brush, so that's interesting. I do like a shadow that you can like deepen up on itself, but the first time you're using something, you never really know like what you are gonna get. That's a really cool shade though. Should I go and see that pastel palette that she released, if I can use some of those shades? I don't even remember what shades were in that palette. I should go get it. Okay, I've been blending a little bit and I used the same shadow under my eyes too. And here's the pastel palette. And it's not exactly what I want to use. I mean, I could use the brown here, but I have something similar in this. Oh my god. Failing. I have something similar in this palette. Am I making sense? You can see here. I mean, they're similar enough, so I'm just going to be using a little bit of that one. But I do think the pastel palette will work really well together with this one. And of course, then I have one with the small little lid on it. This is very fingerprinty, by the way. I don't expect to hold that free from fingerprints, but I'm going to use that light brown. And I'm just going to... Oh, that is way more pigmented than I had in mind. I was going to dust that on the edge, but that was very much more pigmented than I had in mind. Holy bananas. Okay, I'm just gonna put a bit more here like I did on the other side and just blend that out, but I thought that's gonna be more sheer. It was not. I'll use the light shade under the brown instead, and I'll lighten this up because that was insanity. But I just want to sheer out the edge a little bit and use a little bit in here. That was kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. I'm gonna blend that out a little bit more. It turned out a little bit almost like gray on the edge now. That was not what I thought. I'll use a little bit more of that brown and I'll blend it out, but holy bananas, that is not what I thought we were gonna have. Look at how gray that turned. Oh boy. Well, the more you know, you live and you learn. I gotta say, I'm not crazy about how these mattes react on the eye. You can see this is the shade, but it's turning like this really dark gray shade on my primer. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, I did what I could. We are where we are. It does not look great, I'm gonna be honest. And in a way that's almost surprising me because again, I'm not bad with eyeshadow, but this does not look amazing. But that's neither here nor there. We are going to be doing the dark blue, and I am going to be spraying it because this definitely has a little bit of texture to it. So we are going to be spraying it with, what do I have in front of me? The RMS Radiance Lock Setting Spray. Just any spray that I have in front of me, and I spray the brush after I picked it up. And not super impressed. Maybe I need to use my finger. Is that just a very thick formula? I do get some fallout too, even though I sprayed it. Okay, I don't want to be negative because, you know, I love colorful makeup and I love to see innovative formulas at Sephora. But so far, this has not been... Let me use my finger. Yeah, this is very thick formula. Okay, I would maybe recommend using your finger. But like, I love seeing new innovative things at Sephora, but so far this has not been the easiest to work with. Look at that. Am I just bad with makeup? Ugh. Okay, let me just go in with the finger straight away on the other side. And then I have to go and wash my fingers, I guess. Is the light one going to be the same kind of formula? Because I want it to be a little bit more precise with that one. Yeah, I don't love that blue eyeshadow. I think you can do better than that. This is, the light blue is definitely, I mean, you can see it's so flaky. I am definitely going to spray this, and I'm going to spray this a little bit more thoroughly. And we are going to see if we can layer this a bit. You can see it turns a little bit crinkly, but that happens with a lot of shadows. When you start layering them, you can see that's kind of texture. I don't know. I think that sometimes these special shadows, they can be made easier to work with than this. I would say the most forgiving formula, honestly, I think, is the Cleonad one. A lot of their formulas are lighter and just a little less textured and really, really easy to work with. I will toot my own horn. I don't have a lot of like special shades like this, but my own brand as well. And there are others too. Glaminatrix, Nomad, and of course, like I said, my brand Lunar Beauty, that work to make special fun shadows, but less textured so that they are easier to work with and easier to apply and don't create unnecessarily a lot of texture and fallout and creasing. Oh my god, I realize how negative I sound right now, but it's only because this eyeshadow palette is so expensive, and I definitely think you can get, and look at that, I definitely think you can get a better result with less money, if I'm gonna be totally honest with you. Again, don't hate it, don't come for me. These are kind of chunky and clunky, and I mean, if you're looking for like high impact indie shadows and you don't mind spending a little bit of extra money, I mean, like Adept Cosmetics, Bella Beauté bar, they have really high impact, a little bit more like texture shadows too, but they're a little bit easier to work with than these. And if I'm gonna be honest, for half the price. Again, I know I'm gonna get hate in the comments. Don't be mad at me. I'm trying to save you money, okay? This is the first time I'm using the palette. It might just be that I picked the two shades that are extra chunky and clunky. What do I know? But if you have a little bit more aging eyes like me, I'm telling you right now. I think you can do better for less money. I'm gonna see if I can use, I have this is a Juvia's Place liner. I'm almost out of it. This is all I have left. And I'm gonna use that in my waterline. If I get closer, I hope you can see, maybe you can't, that it is kind of like textured and heavy. I don't know if you can even see. It's not looking bad, but if you are looking, oh, I don't even have it here. If you are looking for this color story with the blue and the neutrals and like special shades, the new palette from Bella Beauté bar, it's probably half the money as this Dennis Myricks one. You can use a discount code on it, and I'm showing you comparisons here. It is somewhat in the same ballpark of like color stories, but I do think that it is almost half the price. And even though this one is expensive, I do think that Bella Beauté bar makes a better formula than this. I think this one is a little chunky. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I am gonna use a random pastel blue, and I'm gonna do a brighten up my inner corner. You know, I love a nice pastel inner corner. Look at that. So I'm just gonna brighten and lighten up a little bit and see if we can finish this look off with something that's very much my style. I mean, it looks very fun and dramatic from out here. It just is a little heavy, and it was a little chunky to work with. I don't want to seem super negative because I usually love everything Dennis Myricks. I just am not, and I say that, I'm not convinced as someone who has been reviewing indie makeup for 10 years. I understand that this is very unique for Sephora, but for the beauty community as a whole, it's actually not. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm actually going to use a new mascara. I did buy a backup of the Bad Gal Bang by Benefit. It's my favorite mascara at Sephora. That one and the Tower 28. I've talked about that in my videos. But I got sent this one from Milk, and this is the Milk Makeup Kush Mascara something something. I have never tried this one, so I thought, oh my, that's a big one. That's what she said. And I thought, why don't we use this one and just see how it looks. I will say the brush is a little bit bigger than I prefer, especially on my lower lashes, but I don't know. Am I getting the white rim? A little bit, maybe. A little bit. Why is everything going so wrong? Me. This is not the right mascara for my lashes. I know it's hard to see because I have so much makeup on, but I just don't think it's grabbing on to my lashes at all. I want something that grabs on, lifts and curls, and just lengthens, and I don't think this is my favorite. Also, what is that? Okay, from afar, this makeup look is actually looking, I mean, it's looking really nice. I'm also not having any extensions in my hair today. I feel like my hair has gotten so dark. I feel all the ginger color like kind of fell down into my blondes. I kind of want to lighten it up a little bit next time I go to the hairdresser. But I do think that you can get a similar result than this for less money. I'm not overly impressed. I know that sounds harsh, but I'm not overly impressed with the eyeshadows. I think the Dennis Myricks has done better, and maybe it's me, maybe it's user error, you never know. I just didn't have the greatest time. I like the lipstick a lot. The little bit of the edge, not really anymore. I think that's pretty good. I think the highlighter and the blushes and all of that looked really beautiful. I think that was user error, just me layering a bunch of things on each other, and you were probably just screaming at the screen as it was happening, like, no, don't do it. So honestly, this highlighter, everything is dried down. This is, yeah, completely touch proof, which is what I want. I want the cheek to look wet, but not be wet. I want it to look like a sticky cheek without being a sticky cheek. And I think this is what these products are doing. Very, very happy with those. I think the concealer is looking really good as well. And the powder, the lavender one, I'm actually kind of surprised how much I'm liking that. So I think the complexion turned out way better than the eyes. Even though, again, from a distance, this is looking pretty okay. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you tried any of these things. Let me know if you bought anything at the Sephora sale, or are you making a last minute purchase, as I probably will. Would love to hear your thoughts about this. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you when I see you next in a new video.